friends, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my April homeschool update. So if you're new here, I have a first grader, a preschooler, and a 2-year-old, and I'm pregnant with my fourth. So I am actually 37 weeks pregnant now that I'm filming this video, which is crazy. I think I've said that every time, but like I can't believe I'm actually at the end now. So I'm filming this technically a few days early. It's the 25th of April, so we still have like 4-ish days. But we are going to be really only having one more week of school officially until we take a break because, like I said, I'm 37 weeks pregnant and I'm going to be having a baby really soon. I think the week after next week into May, I think I'm going to probably be doing a little bit of school with them. I guess it really comes down to how I'm feeling and what I feel like I still need to do to prep for the baby on if I'm going to keep going. It is super noisy outside. I hope that that is not going to be too distracting or you won't be able to hear that too much. So yeah, like I said, we only have one official week left of school, maybe two, because mostly that's when we would be finishing our math curriculum, or Shane, my oldest's math curriculum. He has technically 2 weeks left of Math with Confidence grade 1, but the last week is a review, so I'm gonna hold that a little bit loosely. I guess I'll just jump right in and start talking about Shane. We'll start with my first grader. I guess why not just continue talking about math. So Math with Confidence, I actually just posted a video comparing it to The Good and the Beautiful, so I'll link that above if you are interested in seeing that video. But we have overall really enjoyed Math with Confidence. This month I feel like we've had like tiny little hiccups with the curriculum, and this month was really no exception, where I sometimes wonder if he is learning it like deep enough or if he's actually memorizing the concepts, and then I kind of get a little bit concerned, and then usually the next week or something everything starts clicking. And so I usually forget that that's kind of how they learn, and it's like they aren't getting it, they aren't getting it, they aren't getting it, and then it just kind of like all connects the dots. And so that's happened a few times with this curriculum, and it happened again this month. And I think it was during that time potentially that I started looking into Apologia math, not to switch or anything like that. Definitely not this year. Obviously, we're nearly done with the curriculum, but I think I was just watching someone's video and they were using Apologia. And obviously, if you're watching this video, then you're probably like me and you really like to just research different curriculums. And so I was like, oh, let me just look into it. And I saw, and it really looked really interesting. It looked pretty similar to Math with Confidence, except it had unit projects, and I forget exactly about what it was about it that made me start thinking like, oh, maybe we could use this for next year, or maybe would this be a better choice for next year. I started considering, because it has a lot of hands-on activities as well and games, and maybe it has more workbook problems. I'm not sure, but I asked Shane about it too. I even showed him the curriculum, and I thought he would have wanted to switch because it looks really fun. Like if you look at the sample online, the pages look really interesting. You get to do a lot of like hands-on things, which I was honestly a little bit nervous about if he did say yes and if we did decide to switch, because already Math with Confidence is slightly hard there's just like a lot of moving pieces, and so you have to constantly be pulling things out. And I was like, I feel like this is going to be even harder with Apologia, so that was definitely making me consider not switching for sure. But he even was like, no, I want to stick with my math. I really like my math. And so I was happy about that. And the more I thought about it, the more I wouldn't have switched anyway, even if he wanted to, because again, like I said, it very quickly after this moment too, he started really excelling again in math, and I realized like, no, this curriculum is working super well. And so I'm so excited to be really close to finishing first grade. It feels so crazy. We did start late, so I'm really thankful that we were able to kind of just keep trucking along, and I think I combined 2 units at one point in time. I think the time and money or calendar, something like that. Like they were pretty easy concepts for him, so I kind of did them quickly and tried to get us a little bit faster because I wanted to finish the beginning of May because I'm due in mid-May. So that's our math update. It was a good month, a little slightly bit of a roller coaster in the sense that I was researching other curriculum, but that's really nothing new. I really like to research other curriculum, especially ones that I haven't seen before and other people really like. So we will move on to language arts for him, and I have some books here to remind myself on what I want to share. So we are technically in lesson 77 of first grade. So this curriculum has 120 lessons, so we are not going to finish this, obviously, in another week or two. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to navigate moving forward with this curriculum. I think I'm going to continue on in the summer, just not, like, obviously we'll take a break when the baby comes, and then I plan to, I don't know if we'll finish this throughout the summer, but I for sure plan to continue him on practicing reading for sure, because I've said this like 100 times on my channel, but he didn't practice in between kindergarten and first grade and he regressed a bunch. So I kind of like that we are not fully done with this because it gives me lots of work to have just to pull out and easily do with him. I have been doing the booster cards a little bit faster than they kind of tell you to do. Well, I guess not fully faster, but I don't like wait for him to fully master every single word before we move on. As long as I know he's practicing and he's doing really well with it, then we move on to the next concept or the next phonics principle. And so I think we're on like 36 of 56, maybe something like that. So we're just going to keep trucking along on that. He knows a lot of the ones I think that are coming too, so we're going to just keep going through the summer, is like long story short. We have used a little bit of All About Reading Level 2 this month as well. When I get to a concept in here or in his booster cards that I think he needs a little bit, or not that even if he needs the extra practice, or just that he can use the practice. So this one is spelling words with WH. So they have a lesson on, I think, WH. Actually, I think it's WR words, technically. So maybe that's not exactly the spot that I would do it. But when they introduce a concept in the Good and the Beautiful, whether it be through his booster cards or through the workbook, I will sometimes just pull out All About Reading and take out the activity that has him practice that concept. And we do that, say, after we do about 10 to 15 minutes of practice with the flashcards from All About Reading Level 2 and the booster cards from the Good and the Beautiful. So I just kind of go with what I think he needs to practice with, and I really enjoy having All About Reading as a supplement to have those extra activities, because sometimes the Good and the Beautiful, my biggest complaint about it is kind of that it doesn't have enough variation in the practice. So he memorizes a lot of things from the Good and the Beautiful, especially the readers. I can't have him read them, say, like every day for a week, because he'll just memorize those words and then it's like he doesn't know the concept, I guess, if that makes sense. So that's what we've been doing for language arts. I'm almost like upset to get to the end of a school year because I feel like we're in such a good rhythm right now, and I'm like thinking about how when we take a break and then we try to go back, I feel like it's going to be hard to get them back into a routine, because it took a while to get them into this routine and not have them, be like arguing with me. They don't want to do school. They don't, they want to play, they whatever, that whole thing. So they don't really fight me too much. I mean, obviously there's some days they do for sure, but we're in such a good routine and I feel like we're about to that's going to go right out the window, especially with having a baby, but that's okay. I guess maybe if we keep it up throughout the summer, maybe things will go well when we start back up in the fall. So I'm going to move along to my preschooler now. I have his books here to try to remember what to update you on. Oh, I forgot to mention too, we did take a week off for Easter, the week after Easter, I think it was, or before Easter. I think it was the week of Good Friday. So I wasn't planning on doing that because I really wanted to get as much done before the baby came. But then I realized that Math with Confidence had that week 32 is a review week. So I figured I could save that for the week after we've like officially stopped school, because it's really like a loose time when I'm planning on stopping, considering I don't know when the baby's going to come. I typically go very close to my due date, if not over my due date. So it would be nice to have something to keep us busy. So that review week, I might split into 2 weeks, or I might do a little bit before and then maybe not get to the last couple lessons. I'm not sure. I do plan to, over the summer and after the baby comes, you know, taking a little break, a few weeks off, and then going back and playing all of the games again, which is a lot of what that review week is. I saw that it was like, have your child pick some of their favorite games and play them again. And so we fully plan to do that over the summer anyway, along with practicing reading. So yeah, we took the week off. All that to say, we took the week off because I felt like we could really use it, and it was really nice, especially with me trying to get things ready for the baby, and the kids really enjoyed having some time off. So I guess that will lead me into my preschooler, which I feel like I was a little bit more lenient with him than I had been like in prior months, because we took that week off. And then I feel like there's been a couple weeks where we've only done school 2 or 3 times versus 4 times a week. But he's getting really close. I say this every single month to memorizing his his letter sounds, and I'm not really forcing it. I'm not worried if it takes, you know, him another 6 months or something, although I don't think it will necessarily take that long, but I guess you don't know. So we are mainly using, I'm trying to get through the rest of the Good and the Beautiful Preschool. We started this when he was 3.5, and then I paused it for his official preschool year, and we used Gather Round. And so we made it through the first 2 units of Gather Round, and then I was like, you know, this would be the perfect time to pick this back up. And we are on lesson 67 out of 90. So it's fun to have this. It's fun to have something different, because we did the Good and the Gather Round for so long, and I like Gather Round, but it's just fun to switch it up. So we are just at the point now where we're trying to do as much practice as possible. I have flashcards with him now from this preschool course, and I'm trying to remember to do it with him every day, although I have not been. Like I said, I've been a little bit more lenient with him lately, but because I just kind of feel like I have time. But I've been trying to do flashcards with him of, you know, the alphabet, and have him tell me all of the letter sounds, because I'd say there's maybe about 10 or less that he just kind of swaps sometimes, and sometimes he gets them right. And so there's never a time where he like does every single one all the way through, but it's like different ones that he'll get wrong. So I think the flashcards would help to just be really continuous with it and have him just keep practicing over and over. And then another thing that's really helpful is the Good and the Beautiful preschool games. He really likes doing those too. And so we generally will do at least one of those a day when we sit down to do school. He really likes sitting and likes doing school with me, so I can usually get a good deal done with him, or we do it quite a bit. He also does enjoy the songs, which help a lot. I find the movement songs, I think they're movement activities. If you search Good and Beautiful preschool movement activities, and then they have like A to E and then D to, I forget exactly the way they break it up, but they have like little hand movements that they do with each of the letters. And I feel like they actually help him, although sometimes he tells me he doesn't like them for some reason, but I feel like they actually help him figure it out. They'll help him remember the letter sounds. So we've been doing all of those things. And then occasionally we have been doing, this is the 3rd unit of Gather Round for their preschool, which I did with my first son, which this one starts becoming more advanced. So it is nice to have, but we're just doing a little bit, like for some reason he always forgets C. He was doing really well with C, and then he just kind of kept forgetting it. So it was good to have this as a review. I'm only just like picking and choosing which pages I want him to do from this. And we honestly have like completely dropped the animal reading, the teacher's guide that comes with this, because it comes with a little study about the animal and then a little very small Bible study. And he doesn't really care for those very much. My first son really enjoyed learning about that, so it was really fun. But now that we're kind of towards the end of the school year, I'm seeing he doesn't really care very much about learning it. Although it's funny because he also does enjoy learning about animals. Like both my sons really like watching Wildcrafts, and he was just telling me facts about animals today. So I'm surprised he doesn't like it more. But like I said, we've kind of dropped that because it didn't feel like he was getting a whole lot out of it. He wasn't enjoying it as much. But we'll see. Maybe I'll keep it in next year or something, because it's a really easy thing to just add into like a morning time. So, and I really want it to like, this curriculum has at the end of it, it has the pictures of each animal, and you can put them, they're all from, I'm pretty sure, yeah, in the jungle, in the rainforest. So you can put them where they live. And my first son really enjoyed doing that. And I wanted to do that with my second son because I think he would also really enjoy doing it. But currently I'm not sure where to put the map, which is why we haven't done it. And so we're just getting to the end, obviously. I'm very pregnant and I'm just like, you know what? We're just not going to worry about that. So that's basically how my preschooler is going. I have had lots of thoughts about kindergarten, and I think pretty soon I'm going to be sharing my curriculum choices, and I can't wait to tell you guys what we're going to be doing because I'm been thinking about it for a while, and I'm super excited. So that's an update on my preschooler. And now we'll move to group subjects. So for us, that would be history, Bible, literature, and science. We can start with science because we are not doing science anymore. We haven't, but I think you guys probably already know, we have paused sunlight science. We did about half the curriculum almost. We do watch some of the experiments that they already have done, and I've been trying to squeeze them in. We just haven't been very good about doing that. So basically science is on pause until maybe the summer, probably likely till next year. But the history, Bible, literature, sunlight is going super well. I shared in our last update that we started the HBLK, and I cannot tell you how happy I am that we decided to do that when we did it. It was literally the perfect timing. I think if we had started at the beginning of the year, it would have been too much for my younger son for sure at just 4 years old. Especially, I'm thinking specifically too of the Bible. The Bible is I don't know if it's called Erger-Meyer's. I'll post a little picture on the screen. We are loving it, but it's much longer than the preschool Sunlight Bible that we were using for the most of the year up until this point. Because now you read 2 to 3 stories, which they're not super long stories, but it's longer, obviously, where it's like 2 to 4 pages, probably like 2 to 3 pages most of the time, where the other Bible is just 1 page. So I wasn't entirely sure how that was going to go because I wasn't sure if my younger son was going to want to sit for that long, but he's doing really well. So my biggest challenge is my 2-year-old and trying to keep her quiet during that time, but we're super enjoying the Bible. Especially me, because I really feel like I'm reading the Bible with them versus just reading them stories out of the Bible, if that makes any sense. So I have to figure out what I'm going to do, if I'm going to continue using the Bible throughout the summer or if I'm going to pause it and then pick it back up in the fall or when we start our next school year. So same thing with the history and the literature. So we are really, really, really enjoying the history and the literature. I brought some books here to show you what we've been reading. So I want to show you the spines of the history. So they have the Usborne Book of Living Long Ago, and then the Usborne Children's Encyclopedia. There's a history portion of it that you read through. And I wasn't sure how they would handle these books because they look like this. So there's just like a lot of facts on a page, and it goes through ancient history all the way through modern times. So like I said, I wasn't sure if like how much they would grasp because it feels like they're really young, especially my youngest son. He's still 4, although he'll be 5 in about 2 to 3 months. So he's an older 4, but they've surprised me a little bit where they honestly really enjoy these books. They are very interested in hearing about different things that people ate a long time ago or what they were doing. Like here's one that we read recently, Ancient Egyptian Food. So yeah, they seem very engaged with these, which I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm really happy that they like them. We did get some books from the library to supplement our ancient Egypt study. And now we're moving on to ancient Greece, which one of the read alouds that we do for ancient Greece is Game On in ancient Greece. And ever since my older son saw this when we got Sunlight, he's been so excited to read this book. So we're only about 11 pages into it, but it's really, really cute so far, and I'm really enjoying reading it. So we have this book, and then our read aloud book currently is The World According to Humphrey. And this is also really cute. We're only on chapter 3, I believe. We've only read 2 chapters out of it, but the boys are enjoying it too. So these are the 2 books that I'm hoping to finish before I have the baby. I'm going to continue reading to them even, after we stop our like official language arts math. We'll just do them as we, can, or as I'm feeling up for it, as we're feeling ready to do it kind of thing. But the reading, I'd like to finish those 2 books. And then I think when we finish those 2 books, we'll be on like week 8-ish or 9. So I'm really happy with the decision to start towards the end of the year. It's probably not like a normal decision to do, but I've shared, I think, in my other videos about how having a 36-week program with young children kind of stresses me out. So I'm really glad we didn't start it in the beginning or even just waited until next year, because that was what I was going to do, is wait till Riley was officially in kindergarten and Shane was in 2nd grade. But it was a really good choice because we're really enjoying it. It's really helping. It's like holding my hand, helping me have things to read to them, which encourages me to push through the tiredness a little bit more and pick up a book and read it, especially when they're like begging me to read the books. So we've really enjoyed that. I'm going to share some books that we've read already. I can't remember if I shared some of these. I might have already shared some of these in last month's video, but we read The Missing Mummy. The boys really enjoyed this one. This one was obviously ancient Egypt. And then we just finished Dolphin Treasure, these books are really interesting. They're very, very short. Like here's the text on them. And they're only like, this one was 6 chapters. And they have you read a chapter a day, but sometimes we read more. We don't really follow officially the schedule that they give you, but it's a really, really helpful to have as like a guide, where I sometimes will get ahead in certain parts, but we're following it for the most part, like just not reading everything on the same day. Sometimes we'll read 2 chapters or that sort of thing. And then we finished Heartwood Hotel. I believe I shared about this one in my last update, but this one I love. We've read this one twice now. And I think over the like summer break, I'm going to try to get the other 2, because there's 2 more books to that series, I believe. And so we really enjoyed that one. So we're going to read those over the summer, I believe, if we can get to it. But yeah, that's kind of my big update for school. We're doing really well. I'm really pleased with our progress. I don't know why I'm like overly excited to finish math with confidence. I think it's just because it's like we're getting to the end now, and that means the baby is coming soon, which is really exciting. But I guess I'll throw in here at the end, since I've been giving you guys a pregnancy update, I will throw a little update here at the end. Like I said, I'm 37 weeks. So I'm 37 weeks and 1 day when I'm filming this, but I don't think I'm going to post this until next week. And so I'll be almost 38 weeks by the time you see this video, which is just crazy. I'm starting to like swing back and forth between the feeling like trying not to like pay too close attention to the fact that the baby's coming soon, and just staying busy with school and getting things done and seeing our friends. And then all of a sudden it hits me like that, and I'm like, I have to get everything ready. What if he comes early? Even though, like I said, 3 of my children have come right around 40 weeks. My first son was 6 days late. My second son he's the only one who was early, but he was like 4 days early. And then my daughter, who was my third born, was 2 days late. So I'm mentally preparing for this baby to go late because I did not prepare that for my third, because my second was early. I assumed my third was going to be even earlier than him. And the last little bit was really hard because I felt like I was going to be pregnant forever. So this time around, I'm really trying to prepare mentally to go until at least 40 weeks. But yeah, that's where we're at mentally. Behind the camera, I always talk about behind the camera because I'm setting up like a little like mini nursery sort of thing, because we have like a decently small house and the baby usually stays with us for like nearly a year. I think all of our kids have slept in our room for about a year. And part of the way that that works is by having like a space that feels like the baby's own, even though it's in our room. So I've been organizing and going through a ton of stuff and nesting like crazy. Like this week I cleaned out our my closet right here randomly. Like I was getting ready to go to a play date, like we were going to the park, and I just all of a sudden started cleaning that as we're getting ready, and I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm doing, but the hormones, I guess, just take over. And then this morning we were getting ready to go to our homeschool classes, and I decluttered and organized under the sink because it was just like in my head, and I'm like, this is what we have to do. And yeah, so I am like fully switching back and forth, and like I think I'm gonna fully switch over to like we are going to be baby prep full on after like one more week because, well, I have to because we're getting to the end, but also because school will be like officially done. But yeah, other than that, I feel really good most days. I, you know, am obviously uncomfortable a lot of the time. After Easter, we went to church, and then we went to my in-laws, and then we went to my mom's. And so it took me like a good 2 days to recover from that. I like had to take a nap on both Monday and Tuesday, even after trying to get good sleep at night. I was just so tired. So I've been really trying not to overdo it, but it's hard because, like I said, I get like these really strong desires to like want to get as much done as possible. And so then I wipe myself out, and then I'm pretty tired. But yeah, that's kind of the update for you guys. I'm gonna try to film some videos to post through May so that I have something up while I'm having the baby. I'm gonna, like I said, post my curriculum choices videos. I'm gonna have one for my second grader, which is crazy. I can't believe he's gonna be in second grade. Kindergartner, and then I'm gonna actually have like a pre-K 3 video that I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna be doing with my daughter, who turns 3 in September, in the beginning of September. So she's just been really wanting to do school with me, and so I found a few things that I'm going to be doing with her, and I'm really excited to share them with you. So that's the plan. I'm going to be posting that sort of thing throughout while I'm having the baby and recovering from having the baby. And then I probably will come on at some point and share my birth story with you guys because I love watching those videos. And so I'll introduce the baby to you when he's here and share my birth story at some point, hopefully in June, but we'll see. But yeah, I'd love to hear an update from you if you are going to be wrapping up school soon, or are you going closer to June? Yeah, how is everything going? How is the end of the school year going for you? Are you kind of starting to lose motivation, or are you, I don't know, I feel like I got this like sudden boost of motivation to like, I felt like I really got this like boost of like excitement toward homeschool when we bought Sunlight, obviously. So that was towards the end of the year. And then I've been thinking about curriculum choices, which really makes me excited. And I guess I've been just trying to get everything all in order for next year because of having the baby, I guess. So I've been just super excited. So are you feeling that, or are you feeling really burnt out and ready to be done and needing a break? Because I feel like that's how I felt last year. We didn't even finish our curriculum because I just kind of was like, I'm really tired, let's stop. And I feel like Shane was on the same page as me last year. But yeah, all that to say, thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new and you want to, and I will see you in the next one.